Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Beck and Jazz here again with another adventure. So today I've brought you to a pretty special place. I have videoed this place before, however I've discovered some more things. A little bit closer inspection and also being a little bit more researched now. I know a bit more about what I'm looking at. So today I'm taking you on a walk on the inner bay side of Wellington Point in Queensland, and this place is amazing. Just let me say this, you ain't seen nothing yet. I've walked right to the very end, and because I've taken notice of quite a few things, we're going to go back and have a look at those things. I hope I can find them again. It was a long walk, so stay with me. It might be a bit of a long video. I didn't expect the water to be this colour today. Yes, the tide's a little bit outgoing. It's only half tide going outgoing. But the other side on the sea, it's filthy. And I don't know why, because it's been a while since we had rain. So that's a mystery. There's always a reason when it's like that, and it's weather. So, now, as you can see, I'm showing you a lot of the ground on purpose. This is just the start of a very bizarre situation that carries on right around this coastline and stops at the end. It's in an absolute massive strip, and it went right back here. But as you'll see, the erosion has taken care of so much of this that we need the bank holding things up to give us a bit of an indication as to what we're looking at, which is what we will see down here. Now, I hope you can see the beautiful red colour, and we'll get to that in a minute, so just stick with me. Now, as we're rewriting our own history, because we have to, because of all the lies, we're finding out a lot of things, aren't we? Oh boy. And if you haven't done any research into Meltology, they're calling it, call it what you like, but the melting, I like to say the melting, okay? I know a lot of you have researched mud flood, but have you looked into Meltology? Because if you haven't, you're missing a big part of the puzzle, and this all fits in scripturally. The hills melt like wax at the presence of the Lord, which means if hills melted like wax at his presence, it's like what happened here. But you'll see what I mean. You're probably going, oh, this is not much to look at, Beck. No, we've come right up the end here. Structure was obviously smaller, or it got obliterated more up this end. But you're going to see Meltology 101 up here. It's red brick, chick. It's red brick. And my further investigation was piecing together, trying to put together a time frame of when this may have happened. And then I realised the answer was right in front of me, which was some of the trees that have been growing out of this cliff, small eroded cliff face. We have two things going on in this certain spot. I need you to listen very carefully. First, we have a devastating event that's melted brick, which it's over 1500 degrees Fahrenheit to melt brick. Then on top of that, guys, we have mudology up here as well. So we've got two really good examples. It's not massive mudology, but it is mud. Yeah, it's a mud flood. And you'll see what I mean if you bear with me on this beautiful walk, on this beautiful day. So I've come to realise that, yeah, Nothing's what we thought it was. I used to walk up here years ago and go, oh yeah, look at that. Isn't it funny how all these rocks are just weird? But obviously having no, let's say, false narrative to go by, there's no explanation in the books for this. I'd love to know what they told us. Maybe years and years ago when people were a bit smarter in the 40s, 50s, 60s, I wouldn't be surprised if they said there was a brickworks here. Now, so far I haven't been able to find out any information about that, but you've got to be kidding me. They built a brickworks right next to the sea, this close. Alright, so that would have to put it in a time frame of whatever was built here was obviously, to me, pre-flood. This could have been very well a pre-flood structure. But as you're seeing, they still built it out of the same stuff that we built. And brick lasts basically forever if it's left alone. If it's not melted. Oh, a clear jellyfish. You don't see them much. See that? Now, okay, so we're coming up into a bit of an understanding here for you that you'll be able to see what I mean. Now, the trees are going to give us some sort of a time frame because you can get a rough estimate on how old these trees are that I'm going to point out. And being that these they're not all mangroves, but some are. Mangroves tend to grow fairly good. They're a rapid growing tree. Now, if you have a look, this is a classic example of things we see all over this realm. Now, as you can see, this tree is not a mangrove tree. It is a normal tree. It is very big. It's probably, well, I know now that trees are way older than they tell us because I've watched the trees in my own backyard grow in 15 years and they go up, but the circumference doesn't move not for a long time. So it could be a 200-year-old tree right just there. That's just a woody, not a good one. To give an example, but this up here, this is not the way we came in, this is the way we're going out. But now, these are quite interesting, but I just come to the conclusion about these Besser blocks that they have been put here later. You know, maybe sometime when they were building pipes through here or something in the 40s, 50s, something like that. Now, number one, this is a classic Aboriginal shelling station, okay? It's right along here. This is not some, oh, it was sedimentary, blah, blah, blah. No, in Australia, these are literally shells that they have shelled, and they make themselves, they had pits that they would put the shells in. So we can see a mud flood layer above that, and look at what's under it. Total melt, but it gets better. So I thought if I could just find a brick, just one or two bricks that hadn't melted, that would have been good. Okay, so, oh, bear with me. Now, here was the trench that they were shelling. The Aboriginals, the original people of this land, were shelling, using as a shell pit. Found a bit of steel, very, very old steel. Oh yeah, look how old that is. Even steel just crumbles. If you thought that was rock, it's not. That's way heavy. That was steel. That's how easy steel will crumble after salt water's on it for years and years and years and years. Ah, here's more. It's steel. It's very, very old steel. How long would it take for steel to get like that? Now, here's our mud flood and our bricks underneath, which have just melted into weird patterns. So that was done before the mud was placed on top of there, right? Yeah, obviously. Now here is something unexplainable as well, because I've spoken to a local guy that grew up on this beach. I kid you not. And he said he remembered a really old jetty going down here, and this is what's left of it. So, millennial rain structure. Now, we're just surmising. This is for educational purposes only. This is my assumption of things. I don't push my thoughts onto anybody. Feel free to comment. Feel free to not agree with me. That's fine. But just look, open your mind. Here is another Aboriginal burial shell pit. That's what they do. We've found these everywhere up north over the years. Very common when you know what you're looking for. People just don't understand. They think, oh, there's a layer of shells all together, all at once there. They must have all died together. No, they didn't. They died over time by being eaten. So, this structure, ever since I've been coming here, hasn't moved. Here is your steel. That steel is way stronger, but that's going to crumble within years. Maybe give it another 20, 30 years and that steel will be doing what the steel just did when it split open on the rock. So, when you see the size of some of these trees, if we get that far, if my battery doesn't go flat first, because we've got a long way to go, and I would like to get up into the park and show you these ginormous Moreton Bay fig trees that are not hundreds of years old, they're thousands of years old. Absolutely thousands. So, part of the gardens for here, I would surmise. Just surmising. Hello, little mate. Now, bear with me. I never walked up this far before, and it's always the tide's been wrong. Tide's usually incoming. Oh, excuse the wind. But we have an outgoing tide, so it's perfect. Okay. Do you see what I see? Okay, that's a very old bit of steel. So we're trying to piece together, I'm not really worried about timelines anymore. I know a lot of you are, and that's fine. My timeline is I'm either going to die or New Jerusalem's going to come down out of the sky. However, and what happens in between that, I'm going to make the most of it. I'm not going to sit around and wait to be zoomed out of here and do nothing with my life. I'm going to get on my feet, I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to do the things that are available for me to do. And that's try and help people see what I see. Because I've been told that's really important. Because I know I'm seeing a lot differently to a lot of people. But there are a lot of people that are seeing what I'm seeing. Not everybody wants to put videos out about it. And, right, this is a beautiful piece of brick. This piece was the only piece I saw walking up here, except one other brick that was this colour. Now you could say, oh, those bricks are from houses somewhere. Here's another one. It's almost like some of them escaped being melted. They were just stuck in the right spot. They were under a tree root, they were behind something, and some of them were protected. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, this is also very interesting, very unexplainable, because it's just a big melted blob. That's just a lot of different things melted into that one. Whereas this red brick's pretty pure. And yes, so we seem to be questioning our narrative. Everything that's been given to us was baloney, especially the more that I look. Oh, another brick. Here's some. Okie doke. I thought I've got to find. Look at that.